Susan strode into the central observatory, its dome-shaped glass pulsing faintly with protective runes. Here, she could see the Skene Nebula, threads of amethyst clouds swirling, disturbed only by the silent wings of colossal void beasts gliding through hyperspace currents. She found Evan already there. He was adjusting a photonic lens, calibrating it to record energy distortions outside the visible spectrum. "You're early," she said. He didn't turn. "The nebula is shifting. Something is approaching." "What kind of something?" she asked, intrigued. Few things dared approach Nightspine uninvited. Evan hesitated, a rare occurrence. "Something predatory." Susan arched a brow. "Void beasts? Pirates? Or the Dominion Hounds?" "None of those," Evan said softly. "These make the void beasts scatter." That caught her attention. Void beasts were apex predators carved from gravitational storms and ancient cosmic radiation. Nothing made them scatter. Nothing. Except… Susan's eyes narrowed as she expanded the viewport. From the depths of the nebula, shadows uncoiled. Shapes the size of cities. Their movements were precise, intentional, like predators choosing a meal. The Elders of the Abyss. Predators so ancient that even vampire legends only whispered of them. So ancient that some claimed they fed on stars, and occasionally civilizations. Susan felt her undead heart jolt. Why are they here? Evan finally turned, meeting her gaze. "They're not here for the Nightspine," he said quietly. "They're here for me." 2. The Apprentice with No Shadow. For the first time in a millennium, Susan stared at someone and did not know what she was looking at. "What do you mean they're here for you?" she demanded. Evan exhaled a breath that seemed to ripple the air around him. Not physically, but reality subtly bent in response. "I'm not exactly an apprentice," he said. Susan took an involuntary step back as light warped around him, folding like silk in a gravitational tide. "What are you?" she whispered. Evan's voice stayed gentle. "I didn't lie to you. I came to learn. But I'm not here to study vampiric sciences. I'm here to understand humanity." Susan blinked. "Humanity? But you're…" He shook his head. "I look human. I even was human once, before evolution decided fear wasn't efficient enough." The Elders' silhouettes tightened around the nebula like a hunting noose. "The last time they tracked me," Evan continued, a supercluster went silent. "You're an apex predator," Susan whispered. "Something even the Elders fear." Evan didn't confirm. He didn't deny. He simply said, "They consider me unfinished prey." Susan had seen arrogance, pride, and confidence across the stars, but Evan carried none of those. Instead, he carried a quiet, devastating truth. The humility of someone who knew he could break the world by accident. 3. When cosmic predators step back. The first elder emerged fully from the nebula, a serpentine colossus woven of dark energy filaments, eyes glimmering like collapsed stars. Its voice scraped across the Nightspine's hull like tectonic plates grinding. "Child of fractured humanity, return." The princess felt her knees weaken. Even her royal blood trembled beneath that cosmic pressure. But Evan stepped forward, unshaken. "Not today," he said. The air hummed. Reality twisted, and suddenly, Susan understood why the void beasts fled. Evan didn't flare with power. There were no flames, no beams, no grand explosion. Instead, existence simply acknowledged him. Space-time curved respectfully, the way soldiers might silently part when a commander walked through. And the Elders stepped back. Susan gasped, "They fear you." Evan shook his head. "Not fear, recognition." The Elders recoiled as though avoiding a boundary they could not cross. "We will wait," the lead elder rumbled, "but not forever." Then they dissolved into the nebula, leaving only the trembling of distant stars in their wake. The void beasts returned moments later, cautiously circling Nightspine once more. Susan exhaled shakily. You made them retreat." "I negotiated," Evan replied. That wasn't negotiation, she said. That was a cosmic retreat. He smiled a little. Semantics. Avi. Humanity's legacy. Susan approached him slowly, her ancient mind racing to reconcile what she had witnessed. What are you? She asked again. His expression turned thoughtful. Humans evolved on a dangerous world, Evan said. A species that adapted by fear, curiosity, stubbornness. But over eons, some of us changed. The universe shaped us, tested us. Humanity became something more than fragile biology. He looked at her with quiet conviction. You vampires are powerful, but humans? Humans are unpredictable. And sometimes, unpredictability creates apex predators even the cosmos respects. Susan felt something unfamiliar stir within her. Awe. She had ruled star systems, battled warlords, survived solar storms. But this quiet man, this supposed apprentice, carried more power in his restraint than she carried in her fury. You could rule galaxies, she whispered. I don't want to rule anything, Evan replied. I want to learn, to understand, to help. She studied him carefully. And if the elders return? I'll still be learning, he said. But I'll protect this ship, and I'll protect you. A vampire princess didn't fluster. Ever. But something in the warmth of those words, genuine, uncalculated, made centuries-old instincts falter. You came here to understand humanity, Susan said softly, and you've shown me a version even I've never seen. Evan smiled. That's the funny thing about humans. We look small, we look fragile, until something bigger tries to eat us. Susan laughed, a sound sharp and elegant as crystal. HFY indeed. V, apex of the apex. The nebula stabilized, sensors calmed. The universe resumed its slow, ancient breathing. But Susan knew everything had changed. She had brought Evan aboard, assuming he was a simple apprentice. Instead, she had found something far more terrifying and far more extraordinary. An apex predator who didn't hunger. A cosmic force who chose gentleness. A human who made ancient monsters step back. She looked at the quiet figure beside her. Evan, she said, how would you like a promotion? He smiled at her, small, warm, human. I thought you'd never ask. And the stars, for the first time in a very long while, seemed to shimmer with anticipation.